sends me to the peak. Without no regret, you got no love. Without no love, you got no regret. Without no regret, you got no love. A melody where I belong in this life.
Welcome back. Welcome to, if you are new, T-Boys TV. Obviously, back again with another Hat Show. Obviously, episode 68. I'm here in person with Dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, all good, mate. Yeah,
yeah, I'm good. I'm buzzing. I've been buzzing for this game for a while, especially when obviously we're going together. Do you know what I mean? The first time. And Chris, shout out Chris in the background. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, it's just on the Prem stream. But yeah, obviously, we will discuss briefly that Reading game. And then obviously preview the game tomorrow away from home against Blackpool, as we know. So yeah, Reading obviously have played them midweek. Obviously, as we know, ended up being a draw. Obviously, I won't say too much. I'll let you take the light on this until we go into player ratings, because obviously I've done my reaction. But what did you make overall of the lineup and the game, etc.?
The lineup was decent.
Doherty was playing as that cam.
Yeah, which I kind of said about. Cornick started as well. So, you know, you could see he was going to make changes, and we knew that was going to happen. So, you know, it was a lineup expected to get a result for me. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, going into it, I knew it'd be a tight game. We both went with a tight game. Obviously, you went 2-1. I went 1-0 to us. I just knew it'd be that tight sort of game. Obviously, it did take us a while to start getting, a decent record against them. And obviously, we've done it recently. They haven't beat us in the last 4 or 5, it now is, after that game. But they have been tight games. I looked at, like I said, the games last season. Obviously, the 1-0, obviously, not decisive that was in the end. And then obviously the game at their grounds. Even though we played really well and we were dominant, we didn't, absolutely hammer them in that sense. So, I look at it like that as well. But yeah, obviously going into the first half, it was one of them where both teams had chances. I heard a lot of people, saying Reading were had the better chances and were the better side. Would you agree with that?
No, I thought it was pretty even.
That's what I was saying on the watch along. Exactly what I was thinking. Obviously, the main talking point of the game, especially with it being a 0-0, is obviously the Sonny Bradley injury. Obviously, absolutely devastated, whoever it is. But especially for him, especially for the criticism he's been receiving. The referee, yet again, the guy has pushed him, and gotten away with it. I can't believe it. But yeah, it was. I just couldn't believe it. Obviously, gutted for him. Obviously, he has come out since and said it's not going to be as long as what him and people would have expected. But yeah, it's really gutting, isn't it? Especially with the injuries we've already got, especially in defence as well.
But again, like he's come out and said it's not as bad as the first 4. So, I expect him to be probably fit when we come back from the World Cup. I don't think it's going to be sooner than that, but it's not like ligament damage or he's not broken anything. It's not long term.
Yeah.
It's probably shorter than Burks is, really, I think. So, yeah, luckily. But it was definitely a foul. And the ref was pretty, he was too lenient for me. Like Nathan Jones says, if you've done that in rugby, it'd be a red card because
exactly.
Someone's jumping up and you're just running into them. It was a nudge, but look how he felt because of it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Obviously, very gutting. Obviously, going into the second half as well. Obviously, we did bring Berry on, actually, before I go on to that. It's good to see him back. Obviously, I did want to see him come on in the last game, but obviously, we all know why he didn't in the end. So, yeah, it's one of them. Obviously, come on. Then we changed it round a little bit, and that sort of thing. Obviously, going into the second half, we got another injury as well. Not nowhere near as bad as Sonny Bradley's. Obviously, Lockyer, a little bit of a collision, but he'll be fine. I'm sure he'll be back for it come tomorrow. He just don't want to risk it. If he did carry on, because he couldn't properly see, could he? So, yeah, it's one of them. I think both teams had some decent chances. Reading definitely did at the end, and it was a little bit frustrating at times when Andy Carroll was, able to just head the ball quite easily. At times, lucky enough, he didn't have nothing in the end that he got onto and put it in the back of the net. But again, we had chances as well. Yeah, we'll just move on to the player ratings. We'll go through some comments first. Hanno's saying he'll watch on playback as well. Obviously, we'll go through his prediction later. Evening, how are you? Hope you're well, says Lewis. Big up yourself, mate. He says, got love a 5:30 a.m. wake up. Yeah, big up to him. He's travelling down to Millwall tomorrow. That's a new hole I've got. So, yeah, good luck, mate. It's going to be interesting. It could be a new manager bounce, but we'll see. Stephen says, big up, guys. Big up yourself, mate. He said, Lockie is fine. Yeah, he'll be back for tomorrow, 100%. Obviously, Stephen was there live and direct as well. And I agree with this to a certain extent, especially in the first half. He was getting a lot of the ball on the right. But I just feel players like, for them, Andy Carroll were more of a threat. I'll be honest. But yeah, he definitely was on that right-hand side a lot. But yeah, let's go over to player ratings. Obviously, first of all, just put on the floor by accident. First of all, we come to Ethan. Again, not a bad performance from him. That goal where it was deflected. That chance, which could have been a goal, which was deflected at the end. That wouldn't have been his fault. His deflected shots are hard to save most of the time. I'm going to give him. I'm going to go with another 7 for him.
Yeah, I agree. No, he's decent. We know he can rely on him now. He comes with the crosses. He's always on the. Do you know what I mean? He's always on the ball. He's always getting down early. Even for the shots that are going wide, you can see that he'd have it covered, or he's there. So I'm really pleased with him at the moment, and I don't worry too much when he's in goal.
No. The defence feels a lot more comfortable when he's at the back, 100%.
I'll give him 7.
Yep, no, that's fair enough. Horvath, comfortable, good save, 7.2. Yeah, exactly. Moving on to the next player, we'll go on to... Who should we go on to? We'll go over to Bradley. Obviously, I know it's a little bit... it's one of them, because he did have to come off, unfortunately. But for me, he looked all right. Before that, compared to what people, were expecting. Not myself, but others that have given him a bit of heavy criticism. I'm going to go... It's a bit hard to give him a high rating because obviously he had to come off. I'll go with 6.5.
Yeah, I agree.
There you go.
He was decent. He didn't look shaky. He was just doing his job, and then it's hot. 30 odd minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah,
to come off. So yeah, 6.5.
Yep, no, fair enough. Moving on to the next player, we'll go on to Lockyer. Again, I don't think it was a bad performance from him. Obviously we've got injury problems as it is at the back, but he's still, even if them players were back, he would still most likely be in the lineup anyway because he's done that well. Again, Lockyer I'll probably give it a little bit higher because he was on for longer. I'll give Lockyer a 7.
Yeah, same.
You agree with that?
Yeah, he come off a bit. What was it, 66 minute or something as well?
Yeah.
But other than that, he was decent. He was hungry. He's looking good. But yeah, unfortunately, he had to come off. He didn't want to come off, but we needed him to come off, and he'll 100% be starting in the next game. I think he'll do all right. But I'll give him a 7.
Yep, no, fair enough. Bradley, not too bad. Looked more of himself. Yeah, he did up until that 100%. 6.3, fair enough. Lokia Battler wearing that shift shirt. Yeah, I think that's what he meant. Working for the cause 7. Yeah, fair enough, mate. Moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Potts, who is for me a candidate for man of the match, alongside another guy, which obviously we'll get into. But yeah, I felt he had a good performance. His passing was good yet again. You know what his range of passing can be like, especially this season. I felt he did show that a few times in this game. I'm gonna go with another 7.
Yeah.
You thinking lower?
No, higher. I think he's done really well this season, considering he was a backup player last season. Really, he's got he's worn that captain's armband more times in this season than Bradley has, and actually, when he is the captain, we do tend to keep clean sheets.
Yeah,
and
true.
do well.
True.
I think he's being a bit of an unsung hero at the moment, because he is doing all right at the back. And I thought he was decent again, especially after seeing his other defenders come off and then moving into the middle, and do you know what I mean? He's a proper looting player. So I'm going to give him 7.5.
Yeah, exactly. And like I say, I always big him up for his, the way he's been determined to stay at the club. Could have easily had another move. Same with Eisted, and I always big him up for that. Especially the turnaround he's had. Like I said, I thought Middlesbrough was going to be his last game for us. I'll be honest, especially after how poor he was in the first half. Let's be real. He got a yellow card, but then he got a chance and he's turned it around. And I like seeing him in the lineup. Obviously, I'm like that with a lot of players, but when I see him, I'm like, yes, because he's going to try hard.
Rely on him.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's what I've got to say about that. Chelsea better than Luton tie. Well, I'd expect that if they're in the Premier League with the amount of money they've got. But no, big up. Pot's still consistent. I think he meant to say 7.3. Exactly. 7.7. Yes, he finally got good signal. Yeah, if you want to come on, if the signal's all good, mate, then yeah, feel free. Obviously, people laughing with that one. But moving on to the next player, we'll go over to James Bree. I don't think it was as poor as maybe like how he's been exploited, in the last game, for example. I do feel it was better from him. I'll go over 6.5.
Yeah, it weren't overly great, but then he had to adjust again. Let it won't go back, and he'd probably start there, actually. Can't really, have anything bad to say, do you know what I mean? It is what it is. I'll give him 6.5 as well.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And then obviously the other wing back was obviously Amari Bell. Again, good performance from him, especially when he's in that position. That is where he should be played. He has the freedom and luxury to do what we know he can do and what he's very good at. And I felt he did show glimpses of that again in this game. I'll give him a 7.
I'll give him. He's becoming one of our candidate, one of the players of the season so far for me. And every time he's on the ball, he's looking lively. Do you know what I mean? You're like, he's going to make something happen. He's happy to run down the wing, cross the ball in. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got good ability, and he's got good strength and stamina as well. He's just an important player for me, and I think he keeps showing that. And we just need them all to gel. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of, they're not all still gelling properly, but the injuries are not helping.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm going to give him 7.5.
Fair enough. Bree wasn't his best, 6.3. No, definitely not to what he's the levels he has been at, especially at the start of the season. I I think I saw this stat. He's created more chances than like Cancelo or something like that, or some really good stat like that. I was going to say Trent, but people would then go, but look how he's been. He's still class. But anyway, just quickly on this Prem one, who do you think Chelsea's attack going to be? I don't know. Chelsea have been playing weird. They've been playing Sterling left wing back, so God knows. Aubameyang will probably start. Worked hard to contain in 7.5. Yeah, he did. And did you see Bell's interview, Dad, or anyone in the chat? He said he was happy they weren't on the side Andy Carroll was on.
Yeah, I did watch it. That's what I'm saying. That's another thing. Like his mentality and the way he comes across as well. Like, he wants to do well with Luton.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, moving on to the next player. We'll go over to Doherty. Now, I think he deserves a massive shout out in this game. He played 3 different positions in the end. Obviously, he played both sides of wing back and cam. Oh no, was it that? Or was it one of the centre backs?
I think he went out to right.
He was on the right wing back, then he was cam, and he's cam first, then right wing back, and then he played one of the defensive other positions. Massive shout out to him. He has been good when he has come in, obviously, this season. Like I say, I stand by it. He's one of them players you look at first time and you just think you're something special. That's what I see in this guy. He's a good player. And, yeah, really good performance considering he had to play 3 different positions, like I said. He is trying to show what he's about. And, if he carries on, he is definitely going to show off and pay off at one point. So, yeah, I thought it was a really good performance. I was actually, I'm going to give him a fairly high rating. And that's just as a fact he did play 3 different positions, and he done well. I'm going to go over 7.5.
Yeah, I agree. Like, he's looking that player. And the thing is, what I like as well is, like, playing in them different positions. He weren't moaning about it. He weren't, like, worried about it. He's got that Luton mentality already. Do you know what I mean? And he's hungry and he's like, yeah, watch me go. I think he might even thrive off criticism as well. He's one of them. He is looking better and he's still young as well.
Exactly, yeah.
We could have a gem on our hands, yeah.
Same with a few others. We got like Pebble and that.
Yeah. And we have got that backup as well. And they're doing Mendes Gomez and stuff.
That guy's doing a bit. He's scoring overhead kicks for rebounds out here. Like, it's crazy, yeah.
It's only going to benefit us. So 7.5.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. Stephen has said, he looks happy he didn't have to mark him. Yeah, that was brilliant. I watched it. Doherty, what shift 8? Yeah, exactly. You putting him even higher. I don't blame you, mate. He was brilliant. He's a player that just wants to play. Yeah, exactly. He's that as well, isn't he? Moving on to one of the other midfielders. We'll go over to Campbell. Again, I think it was too bad. It could be, for the levels that we know he is. Maybe performance could have been a little bit better, but I don't think it was that bad. I just think the player next to him, which we'll get onto, was bossing the midfield. Usually it's Campbell, as we know, as that main guy in the midfield, but see, it's the guy we're going to go on to next. Campbell, I'm going to give him. I'm going to go over 7.
Yeah, same. Like you say, I think Pelly overshadowed him, but I think it was still a decent performance from him. Do you know what I mean? Like he didn't do anything wrong. It's just that extra little bit that we need to do. Like I was just thinking, like expecting him to score at some point. Do you know what I mean? Them little extra goals that you need from midfield sometimes. I think that's why we're drawing so much, because we're not really getting them.
Yeah.
But I must say as well, I'll get onto it.
All right.
But yeah, I'll give him a 7.
Fair enough. Ravi says Luton, Blackpool can't beat them. Luton, Blackpool can't beat them. The rest. Big up yourself, mate. Big up yourself. Campbell was working hard and always 7. Exactly. I just think the guy next to him was just completely different. Campbell, he is a workhorse. Yeah, exactly. Guy gets stuck in. Don't let you have any space. But yeah, obviously the next player that we was talking about, Pelly Ruddock, man of the match for me. I know you're the same, Dad. What a performance he had. You know, he was really good when he come on against Sunderland, you know, but this game he showed it. And he played a whole 90 minutes as well. Got a lot of minutes in the tank that he needs, obviously, coming back from an injury like that. And yeah, he was brilliant. He was all over the place. His pass, like in a good way, obviously. His passing was brilliant. And yeah, man, you know, I really like to see that, especially with the criticism. Again, he's another player that gets heavy criticism. You know, I thought he shut them people up. There was still a couple people talking, but then people said, did you watch the game to him and rare tear tear? But yeah, he was brilliant for me. He was brilliant for me. Like I said, my man of the match. As for a rating, he's the man of the match. I'm going to go. Do you know what? I'm basing this on criticism he's received as well, and he shut up them in that game. And yeah, he might still have a bad game, but everyone does. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to give him a 9. I'm going to give him a 9.
Okay, well, he's my man of the match. I'm not going to go quite as high. I'll give him 8.5. But yeah, like full 90 minutes, first 90 minutes he's played this season, and I wanted him to do well, and he did. You know, his passing was really good, really confident. Obviously, you can see now, like, he can play at this level. It was just consistency before, but you know he's looting through and through.
Exactly.
And sometimes you need players on the pitch like that other players, if their heads drop a little, they can look at him and go, look, no, he's on it. It's Pelly. Do you know what I mean? And he does have that effect on the team, on the pitch. And you can see the players are comfortable with him. There's no one like, you know, it used to be, you know, with some players like who haven't really played in that, it takes a while to gel on that. They know exactly what they're getting from Pelly.
Yeah, exactly. I agree, 100%.
He's hard working. He has improved, and he's hungry, and he bossed that midfield. He was involved in all the good stuff. You know, like breaking down the play. He's a good long passes. Short. He was very good.
Brilliant.
Yeah, 8.5.
That's fair enough. Yeah, 100%. Totally agree with what Stephen says here as well. Pelly Ruddock, Mapanzu, looked like a new signing on it, like a carb on it. He did. He was everywhere. Like I said on my match reaction, you know, usually it's Campbell that's that guy. Like I said, Campbell was not poor. It's just Ruddock was really good. You know, that was the difference. And he was that guy who we were all looking at. You know what I mean? In that game, usually we're trying to keep an eye out more on Campbell, you know, but it was Ruddock this game. That chant is in the style of Go West. There you go. But yeah, moving on to the next player. We'll go over to the front two. We'll start off with Cornick. Obviously, Morris was on the bench for this game. He got rested. Obviously, you can tell it's for the game tomorrow. Cornick, I don't think it was overly great from him. I did think as well when he come on against Sunderland, there was times where he took that extra touch at times, especially when the ball was out on the left-hand side of one, like where I sit. He took an extra touch to go back, where he could have, you know, maybe tried to do it to go forward. He did lose the ball quite easily in this game a few times, I felt as well. And he was on it quite a lot as well, and then he lost the ball a few times. Not the levels of what I know it can be from Cornick. As for a rating, I'm gonna go over 6.
Yeah, I agree. 6 as well. He's not. I think because Morris and Adebayo are doing so well, Adebayo's definitely doing better than what he was. Cornick's like trying to, because they're all very competitive. I think he's just trying too hard.
Yeah.
I think he's trying too hard. He just needs to chill out a little bit, and you know, the goals will come like snatching at shots and things like that. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, low rating. 6.
Fair enough. I love this comment by Wolf. It says Tyler's clock assisting that flag. That's brilliant, mate. That's brilliant. Cornick didn't really get into it, and I agree. Too many touches. Yeah, exactly, mate. 6.3, exactly. And then moving on to Elijah. Again, I felt it was an unlucky game from him. You know, Sunderland, he was unlucky. I felt not to, you know, maybe get a goal. this game, I felt he was just unlucky at times. Maybe not come to scoring. There was one time in the second half though where he was running across towards the edge of the box. He did take a few extra touches on the watch long. I was like, come on, like he could have shot. But overall, I don't think it was terrible from him. Like I say, he was quite unlucky, especially in the first half. I felt he was quite unlucky. As for a rating, I'm going to give him. I'm going to go with I'll go over 6.5 because I know he can do better.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe a 7, but I'll go 6.5.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 7. I thought he worked really hard. He's still got that, he's not getting frustrated. It's just one of them where it didn't really come off for him. Maybe he could have done better, but his work rate was really, really good.
Yeah, I agree with that, 100%.
I'll give him a 7.
Yep, no, that's fair enough. I'll say I was thinking 7, but I'll go 6.5. And then obviously 4 players that come on. Obviously the first sub was obviously in the first half. Luke Berry, like I said, good to see him back. And yeah, I thought he showed a decent, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember the word I'm looking for, but a decent showing of himself. And I like Berry. He's proved me wrong. That he was championship quality last season. I didn't think he was it, but then obviously before he had the unfortunate injury, he was, he was doing well. He was getting us vital goals. Blackburn away. You think of that, he got both goals that game, and then he kicked on for a bit. We, beat Preston 4-0 and a few other games, and he played a part in it. I think he showed a good account of himself. So Berry, and he did come on in the first half, so I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7 as well. Like, he was looking good. He was hungry in the midfield. He was getting into them positions a couple of times in the box that he does. And that's what I'm saying about the midfielders scoring more goals. He's one of them players who can do that. So I would, part of me is thinking I wouldn't be surprised to see him start the next game because he was getting in them positions. Yeah, I thought he was really good. He was confident, and I'm glad he's back. 7.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Adebayo Redding didn't like him. His physicality is second to none. He is a worker. Shame not everyone notices it. Exactly, mate. Exactly. And I'm one of them people that was, well, we both were, in fact, one of them people that knows he tries his hardest. Majority of the games, and like you said, it is a shame that not everyone notices it. 7.2, that's fair enough. Very welcome back, bit of energy, exactly. 7. No, absolutely, mate, absolutely. Moving on to the next player, which obviously was Jerome in the second half. Obviously, that was when Lockyer come off. Jerome, he showed a bit as well. I did think I don't think he was too bad, even though he come on with 5 minutes left or whatever. I didn't think he was too bad against Sunderland. He was trying to, get into positions, trying to make stuff happen. I thought he was better than Cornick, when he come on. I'm not going to lie. As for this game, you can tell he was trying to do something going forward for us, which obviously what he's got to do is he's a striker. Yeah, I don't think it was too bad from him, but I'm not going to give him too high. I'm going to give him 6.5.
Yeah, I agree. But, couldn't really praise him for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just trying to put stuff in, but it weren't quite, you know what I mean? It weren't out there. I don't remember too much for him. 6.5.
Yeah, absolutely. We chose Jerome 6. Yeah, I was surprised it wasn't Morris, but then again, I think I look at it and you can tell Morris is more rested for this game. Obviously, it did come on. Might as well do this sub together because it was at the same time. Morris and Freeman. I'm just going to give him 6. I'm going to give him a 6.
What, both of them?
Yeah. I don't want to be too harsh on Morris because,
Morris did look good when he come on. You can see that he does affect the game. But yeah, maybe it's a bit too late. I'll give him a 6.5. And
Freeman
a 6.
There you go. They are the player ratings. Obviously, man of the match. Obviously, we gave it to Pelly Ruddock, both of us. Like I said, brilliant performance from him, bossed the midfield. And, like I said on the match reaction, I'm not sure how you feel overall on the point, Dad. But I looked at it. Obviously, in the final third at times, we weren't overly great. I said I'd take it based on the fact Reading are on the same points as us. I know they've had a bit of a drop off compared to the start of the season, but still have got some good players that could have hurt us, same as us obviously. So it's always going to be a tight one, like we both said as well. So I look at it like that, and I'll take the point. Are you the same with that?
Yeah, pretty much because of the injuries as well. More than
yeah, exactly. We had to keep chopping and changing as well.
Again,
yeah.
Let's go back to it a couple of years ago, where that's the sort of game we would have ended up losing because of that. So yeah, I'll take the point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, that's that. Morris 6.3 and Freeman 6. Yeah, that's fair enough, mate. But yet there, the player rating's done. And obviously we're moving on to the game tomorrow. Obviously we're back to the Seaside. Obviously last time we played there, I went to it. I was going to upload a thing on the extra channel when I went to it, 3-0, but I don't know if I'll do that now, to be honest. But obviously Blackpool, that is who we're facing. Obviously, league table as it stands, we are obviously 11th. We have dropped down one place only because Reading are playing right now, though that game's still 0-0. Obviously, we're on 26 points. Obviously Blackpool are obviously 16th on 22. I think when we played them last season, they're in the same sort of position, but I do feel they are doing a little bit better this year. I do look at some of their results. They always bring really good following away. When it comes to noise and that, they tend to. It's going to be an interesting game. I don't think it's going to be like last season where at their ground where we walked all over them. I can't see it again. I do think they're a little bit better than that. Obviously, they have got a former player that used to play for us only through the academy, but Patino, obviously Chris will know a little bit about as well. Yates is on good form, So for me, it's not going to be like the walkover it was last season at Luton. We did rotate quite a bit in that as well. I think we started Mendes Gomez that game. Obviously, he's out on loan. I reckon this time round we'll just go with a much stronger lineup. I think you can tell based on what Nathan Jones went with the other day, it's going to be the Morrises starting, and that sort of thing. A lot of people saying maybe change formation. I was thinking it, but then I'm looking at it. We'd have to change the midfield, all up front, and I just can't really see us doing that. And Lockyer, for me, he'll be back for this game, so it's not too bad in that sense. Like I said, for me overall, it's going to be a lot more difficult than last season. Obviously, at their ground, at home, we drew 1-1. We should have won that though. That Musgrave goal should have stood. Still don't understand to this day why it didn't. I reckon it's going to be a much closer affair than that 3-0. But Dad, what do you reckon about going into this one?
I think Blackpool are a decent side, an up and coming side. I think it will be tougher than we think. I just think we're again, I'm confident anyway. I rarely think that we'll lose, and I don't think we'll lose this. I'm pretty confident, but
we do need to start wrapping up the wins as well, don't we?
The injuries, like how are we going to play? We're going to play the formation we think we're going to play, or we're going to change it up. I think, you've got to go out for this game. You've got to go and try and win this game, even though there's Morris and Adebayo both on 4 yellow cards.
Yeah,
so
and that's also why Morris didn't start, by the way, people.
They're not starting against Stoke. So it is a difficult one, but I still think that we've got to go out and try and win this.
We have. We need to start wrapping up them wins. We've already got 8 draws.
So you're going to be careful with them, but we need an early goal, I think. But I'm feeling quite confident.
And we can do that. We can score early goals. We've done that a lot this season.
We've got quite a good record against them.
Yeah, we do. We've won more times, I believe, if I'm correct. So, yeah, I just like I said, for me, it's not going to be as easy as it was last year. They're slightly better this year. You know, Yates is doing well. Like I said, Patino, you know, even though he only played for us in the academy, still a former player. You know what they like to do against us. Hopefully he doesn't, but they do have a good chance. Blackpool, and that might just urge him on if he does start. But we'll see about that one. But recent fixtures, obviously, I mentioned ours, so I'm not going to go through it. As for Blackpool, I played West Brom midweek. Imagine I said 0-0. It was until the 85th minute. West Brom getting their first win under the new manager, obviously the former Huddersfield manager, Carlos. So they're on the back of a loss. Sounded like a narrow, you know, tight affair. Just West Brom eventually took their chances. That's what it sounded like to me. And it's a matter of time before they were going to get that win for me, especially under the new manager. He is a good manager. So it's one of them. At home, you know, they do tend to have a lot of goals this season where there's been goals galore at home. Obviously, they beat Watford 3-1. We was loving that. Obviously, they beat Preston in the derby 4-2. You know, they have games where there's goals, 3-3s. I think they've had a couple 3-3s. Hull beaten 3-1 away. Obviously, at Blackpool for them. So, yeah, they do have a lot of goals in this one. But, yeah, that's that. Let's go through some comments. Wrap up warm. Yeah, trust me, I've got double layers everywhere, mate. From socks to bottoms to jumpers to coats. You know, it's mad. We should have enough, I believe, same as last Saturday. High tide does and all going to be wet and windy tomorrow. Yeah, it's probably going to be exactly like bloody hell, Lewis. It's probably going to be exactly like last year when I went, me and Don. And that was actually Don's first time on the channel. So big up to Don. I'll be seeing him tomorrow. And yeah, Lewis says, God, I hate this time of year. Yeah, especially for football, man, standing around. Same as last Saturday, team-wise. Yeah, I thought that's what you meant when you said same as last Saturday. We'll get into that in a minute. I feel we're going to lose tomorrow. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're wrong too. I mean, travelling all that way, our first ever away league game, you don't want that, do you? Lewis, you are a madman. Lewis has sent another massive super chat. £45.
Big up, nice one.
Big up yourself,
Appreciate it.
Lewis. You already know Lewis is a G out here. You don't know that. He says, evening, lads. Hope you're all well. Cheers for everything, Tyler, and things like that, as you know, and checking up with me and everything over the week. Wishing you all the best tomorrow and safe travels. Hate this month severely. Yeah, appreciate that, Lewis. You know, I heard it weren't too great. Obviously, I won't say too much. Obviously, you don't want me to, but yeah, man, always gonna be here for you, Lewis. Same with everyone in the chat. You already know if you need to message me or talk to anyone. You know, obviously I'm here. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be in the position I'm in with YouTube if it wasn't for you lot. Do you know what I mean? As well as others, but you know, yous are the regulars. Do you know what I mean? That's why I am where I am, and my channel's getting out to where it is getting out to. So big up to you lot. Dad, anything else you want to say on this?
No, just appreciate.
Yeah, sure,
you
man.
know, and just if you need any guidance or help, just let us know.
Yeah, exactly. And safe travels to you as well, mate. Obviously, you said 5:30 a.m. wake up. Say, I do want you lot to get some sort of result, even though I've obviously gone with the Millwall win. But yeah, mate, you never know. You never know. You know that out of the recent appointment, just talk about Hull quickly. Just about the recent appointments you've done, I think that's one that could work out because the guy has played for the club. You know, obviously, he's got that connection from what you said that he said in his press conference, and this could be a turnaround for you guys. This could be a turnaround. You know, you have got some decent players, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, they put up at least a performance if they don't win. And if they didn't, then no, it's just not good. I hate it due to fireworks. Yeah, that's annoying as well. Big up yourself, mate, for the super chat. Lewis, you are the man. Yep, you lot already know. Go on, Lewis. Big up Spencer as well. Big up Spencer. Massive shout out to Spencer. You know, obviously the Liverpool games. Obviously, he's a Liverpool fan. He tunes into my streams 4:30 in the morning, as well as watching the games when they're 12:30 kickoffs. So he's out in America. So big up to yourself, mate. I hope you're well. His nan is from Hull. Yeah, that's what you lot chant, isn't it? everyone who's travelling tomorrow, stay safe. Yeah, exactly. Wherever you're going, whatever team you support, do you know what I mean? So yeah, there is that. But yeah, what we was going to get into is the lineup. So yeah, like I said, I was thinking of chopping, changing formation, but then, if we went with back four, we'd have to change the midfield or the attack, and I just can't really see us doing that. We're away from home. Do I still think we'll go with a cam? I just think we might, because I just look at, obviously, if Lansbury was available, I'd probably say we don't. I'm just going to say we do, but I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't at the same time. And obviously, this is my opinion, what I'd go with. So obviously, we'll do what we usually do. Obviously, Ethan in goal. Every time I do this, I should already have him in goal. Do you know what I mean? Unless he's injured, obviously, touch the chair. He doesn't. Centre backs, the back three. I'm gonna probably go Lockyer in the middle. Like I said, he'll be back for this game. I'll be sure of it. I'm probably gonna go. Still no Burke. Obviously, Bradley's now out. Osho's not back till Stoke. I'm probably going to go Bree. I don't mind him being there compared to like maybe when Bell's at left side of centre back. The other centre back, I'm going to go Potts, of course, on the left side. As the left wing back, I'm going to go Bell. On the, I should have done what we've done beforehand. Where is he? There he is. On the right side, I'm going to go Doherty. Now, I know a few people might question that because they feel he's better higher up. I just feel he shouldn't be dropped at the same time. And I'd maybe change it up on Cam, honestly. The midfield, you've got to go, for me, the two in this position, you've got to go Alan Campbell and Pelly Ruddock, of course. Pelly Ruddock, what performance, like I said, just was class. Look at him there, love that. And then the cam, I'm going to go, who am I going to go with? You can go Freeman, you can go Clark, you can, no one's probably going to do this, but you could go Cornick because he can't play there. I'm going to go Clark. He actually had a really good game against Blackpool at the away fixture as well. A lot of players did, of course, but I think he got an assist. Yeah, he did get an assist actually on the third goal, I believe it was. I think, this is a team he tends to do well against, even in the home fixture. I think he done all right. So I'm going to go with him. The front two, I think it's pretty obvious what it's going to be. Someone scored. Preston have scored. Elijah's still not got a picture. What is going on? Obviously, Elijah and Morris. Obviously, Morris was rested for this. Oh, he was up there for this game. So yeah, that's a lineup I'm going to go with. Dad.
Yeah, I'd go with exactly the same. I do feel that it might be different though. I've got a feeling if you go back to it.
Oh, sorry. I was just reading the comments.
That Nathan Jones is going to do what he done in the other game, and he's going to put. What did you do? Put Bell. Mind you, we have got Potts though, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
But, yeah, no.
You reckon we'll go with that formation as well?
Yeah. Because Fred's injured as well. That's why he's
exactly.
So yeah, you have to put Doughty there.
Yeah.
Or he will swap them right here. But no, because Potts is like I said, is available. So
kept it. Yeah, he deserves to keep that place as well.
Ruddock should start. Clark will be back. Morris will be back, and possibly he could start Cornick, but I wouldn't. You just gotta risk it. One of them is bound to get a yellow card, guarantee it. Yeah,
probably. You know how these refs give silly
yellows. Cornick will start the next game regardless.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Unless he comes on and gets sent off, of course. And then we're proper stuff. So we've got to be a bit careful. If they both got yellow cards,
Yeah.
Then Cornet come on and got sent off. We've only got Jerome.
I know, it's mad. Because Woodrow's still out, isn't he?
And Freeman up front.
Yeah, well.
But, yeah.
Well,
it is what it is.
Let's go through some comments before we get into our lineups. Where was I? Stay safe, Ty. Yep, no, I will do. Don't worry about that. I like that lineup. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. A lot of people, I thought they'd maybe question, not because he's, anyone thinks he's bad. They just feel maybe put him in Cam. But I just think Clark will be back. Them players that tend to do well against them teams. Clark's that against Blackpool.
Well, I've put Clark's actually played in that position before. I'm sure he has.
Yes, I think you're right.
But
I'm pretty sure.
If he'll be doing that right now.
No. The thing is, obviously, it's not his fault, but he's not the tallest either. So it might be easy for them to play balls over and that sort of thing. Even though he does leap quite high, I've seen that live, but I'd go with him in Cam. And yeah, I'm watching FA Cup first round here. Yeah, first round this weekend. It's good that it's up and running now. Hereford versus Pompey. Did I say that name right? I think Hereford. There you go. On BBC 1-1, BBC 2. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. We're just seeing how the championship game goes in the background. I think Lord Fredge is on the injured table. Obviously, Steve not a big fan of him in that right wing back. But yeah, there's that. Score prediction, Dad. It is that time. Score prediction. We're away at Blackpool. First game together. What are we saying?
Well, I reckon there is going to be a few goals in there. I just feel it because we're going and it's just one of them.
I remember my first game away in the league with Luton was last season. A lot of people might be shocked by that. And that was obviously Blackburn. That had everything to it. That was a comeback, 90th minute, 2-2. We were 2-0 down. You thought we were down and out. Sonny Bradley come on, turned it around. Luke Berry obviously got the 2 goals. Ruddock played well that game. I think it had a red card. No, I might be wrong, but it had cards. I know that. So it could be one of them.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-2 Luton.
Nice. I could see that. Honestly, I could actually see that. We do tend to have some memorable games with Blackpool as well. That's the thing. The playoff,
yeah. Other games, yeah. I think it's going to be one of them.
Last year, the 1-1, that had controversy. The 3-0.
Our defence ain't the strongest. Their defence ain't great, from what I can gather.
No, it can't be gotten out.
They've got some good strikers, but so have we. But I just think we've got a good away record.
Yeah, sixth on league form away from home.
And they don't like being under pressure at home, and we definitely put them under pressure.
100%. No, definitely. So you're going 3-2 Luton. As for my score prediction, I'm going to back the town as well. Like I said, we need to start winning games soon. And I believe this is a fixture. Obviously, any game's tough in the Championship, but I do think we have some good fixtures coming up till the World Cup, which obviously we'll get into the other games later on. But I'm going to go over 2-1. I'm going to go over 2-1 Luton. I think Yates might score for them. And us, I'm going to go Morris. And I was going to say Clark, but then I said that against Sunderland. I'm going to go Potts. You know what? I made a deal with Chris that Potts is going to get the first goal for Luton. 2-1 Luton, Potts. So I'm going to go with Potts and Morris. I just remembered I said that. So I'm going to go with that. Your goal scorers, Dad?
Doughty.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Whoever would be sick.
Elijah.
Yeah. Hey, you gone 3-2 in.
And Morris.
Nice. That would be nice. That would be good. And Elijah did score last year against them as well. I can't remember who scored the goal at home, but yeah, he scored away the header when Clark got 2 assists in that game.
Yeah,
because he set it back post. Yeah. Check out the vlog if you haven't already to that game. But yeah, that is that. Is this your first ever away match together? Yeah, it is. Well, we've done Stevenage, but obviously that was in the League Cup.
Yeah, we've done like friendlies and that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, friendlies. Yeah, but yeah, League. Yeah, it is. Spencer's gone 2-1 as well. He says, "Come on, you Hatters." No, absolutely, mate. I've been buzzing for this game for a while. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Chris is the same in the background. And while Chris is here, do you know what? Might as well. Your prediction for this one?
I said 2-1, didn't I? That's the bet I'm going to go with.
2-1 Luton as well. There you go. There you go. Love that. But yeah, Pompey have scored apparently. Wait, Portsmouth are in round one. Oh yeah, because they're in League One. Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, that is gutting because you like the underdogs doing bits in the FA Cup. There's always one, isn't there, in recent years? So we'll see who that'll be this year because there will be one. But there you go, people. And that is the end of the Hatter Show. Obviously, episode 68. It's been a good one, Dad. We've been doing it in person again. And yeah, we're planning to do quite a lot of content tomorrow. Obviously, we're doing match reaction after the game. We decided we're going to do one. We'll do a match day vlog, of course, as well. And I might even try and get some content out before the game, but that might be in with the match day vlog. I'm not sure yet. But we'll plan to get a few things in for that. And Stephen says, see, as this is your first league match together. Yeah, away from home. Away from home it is, mate. And I don't want to jinx it, but we have had some memorable ones in the league. Well, in the championship so far, haven't we? A lot of 1-0s, actually. Hull last season and Reading last game of the season. I think that was it. Maybe another one, but yeah. Luton have to win, surely. Yeah, we need to start winning games soon. You know, if we want to be in the position we was last season, we obviously got to start winning the games. At least we're not losing, but, you know, you don't want to keep drawing them. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully we go up there and win this game. And yeah, we'll see. Spencer says, take care, Duzzy, Stephen, Lewis, and everyone else. Big up yourself, mate, every time. And yeah, Dad, any final thoughts before our trip tomorrow?
Just keep the faith. Send the positive vibes to the lads. And let's pull this off. Let's get them goals. 3-2. I reckon 3-2.
Yeah, it's not a bad chat. Honestly, if I didn't go 2-1, I'd have said 3-2. And I'm not even just saying that. I actually would have. Because I do see us, I just think we'll narrowly win. It'll be a lot tougher than it has been against them. Good to see that live, same room. Yeah, it's good. It's good. We've done it a few times. I think we've done it like twice. But yeah, hopefully we'll do it more, especially if we go to more away games, which we are planning to do. But yeah, quickly, just before we wrap up as well, if anyone does see me tomorrow, if you are going to the game, we are planning to go where the Luton fans will be before the game. Feel free to come up to me if you do see me. Don't be shy. I know a few people have messaged me and said they felt shy. Don't feel shy. I'm not scary. Don't worry about that. But yeah, if you want to, I don't know, whatever. You want to be on the vlog, you want to get a picture, shout out to that person, like I always say, at Burnley. Actually, there's 2 people. One person come up to me in British chat, took a picture. And yeah, someone else obviously come up to me at half time and said, watch my stuff. So big up to them. But yeah, looking forward to it. Up to the Seaside. We go to play the Seasiders. Hopefully we get the W and we start kicking on for the World Cup. And obviously after the World Cup, but we get some wins up there going into the World Cup. Hopefully we have players back as well. And then we kick on even more. But we will see. We'll see. Big up everyone. Stay safe. Big up Lewis for that super chat as well. You're a madman.
Nice one.
Big up yourself every time. And yeah, let me just see what the like count's ended up on as of yet. 13 likes again. Big up yourselves. And I know a lot of people watch on playback as well. So big up to them that do. Feel free to drop down your lineup, your score predictions, all that, if you haven't already, on playback, of course. And yeah, we've hit 1.38k as well on subscribers today. So big up yourselves for that. And yeah, smash a like, subscribe, turn on notification bell, subscribe to my other channel, T-Boys TV Extra. I'm going to post the last time we played Blackpool and that. I will do that tonight. And then, yeah, if you want to follow me across any of my socials, link to them are in the description. Till next time, take care and peace. Up the town.